Okay, welcome back. This is video number 6. We're going to be dealing with displaying the exercise history. Again, if you're joining us in the middle, check out the full playlist, it should be in the description, and start that video number 1. Alright, at the moment our app only displays the total minute exercise, but since we've got the list, we can show the whole list. So, in designer view we have a list view from user interface. We can add a label, or we'll certainly add a label. Designer. Yes, I have. Have I built? No, I've actually not tried tested the app yet. With the, it's going to be fun. Scan the QR code. Boop. All right. So in the designer view, we'll want a user interface list view. Just going to plonk that at the bottom. I might want to put a horizontal, like a layout thing, right? What if I take this and like move it? Horizontal arrangement, so I get my record and play side by side? Yes. That's good. Yes, excellent. And we've got our list view at the bottom. Above this, we're going to put a label. Yeah. Label. Here, which is going to be exercise log or exercise history. Make that center. Oh, is it? No, that's the text alignment again. It's not really helping me. Let's have it in bold. Let's have it as a 20, and that's probably good enough. Right. As you might have guessed, the list view displays a list of things, similar to how you set the text property of a label to some text. You set the elements property of a list view to a list. That's good, because that way we don't need to kind of copy them all one by one. We just kind of copy the whole list, or the set of elements of the list to that. So what we're going to do is it's in button click enter, sets list view element to, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so we're going to do it when we click enter, which is a bit, that's not what I would have put it, but because that means that when you load up the app, you will not have the history just straight away. But anyway, so in the button, which one was it? When enter click, we have a, let's see, list view, and we can set list view dot elements, that's the one. Here, we don't need, we can put it outside of the scope of mins, because we're not going to be using mins in the minutes in there, right? 2, and that's going to be a get of our global minutes list, which is here, and we can just duplicate this one. Looking good, right? Set list view one.elements get global minutes list. Secondly, you'll need to update the list viewer whenever you load the list file. Ah, of course, yes, that's the one. I would have put it there too. So it's when file one got file, and we're going to take the same deal, right? Set list one. Yeah, it made more sense to me. I would have written one before the other, but you need both. Is the point? We're going to duplicate this pair of blocks and put it into our little got text from file one. So very much in the same way that we had the outside of the for each, but inside the when file one got text do. Yeah, find the file one, add a set to the get. The same code as above, right? The same pair, right? And file one got text. File one got text, right? File one got text. Oh yeah. We can actually put that. Yeah, they've put it here, which does make more sense actually because yeah, fair enough. Because we've just loaded minutes list, so let's use it there, right? And then those 4 blocks have to do with the computation of global times. The first 2 blocks, it doesn't really matter. I mean, this one can go really anywhere after the orange one, but because it can go anywhere after the orange one, it might as well go right after. But again, this is the thing that really, doesn't really matter in that it doesn't change anything. The code still runs and so on, but just like naming things correctly, not just like file1, but instead maybe log or history, and not, I don't know, label1 is probably not a big deal because we never really like, bothering too much about labels. Whereas total, this is doing reactive, I want to give it a proper name. This kind of stuff really matters when you reopen the projects a couple of weeks or even months after and want to figure out what everything does. And so yeah, we're going to set the global minutes list, and our app is now complete. Now track the type of exercise. How about adding another text box? We can use the same file with some extra join and split codes or a separate one. I'm going to use the same file because that way we can have some extra join and split code. So another text box, or maybe we could have a drop down, right? Instead of a text box, I'm going to do a drop down because I really hope it probably does drop down like straight off the bat. There's a list picker. Yeah, list picker. That's pretty good, right? So I'm going to move that below. I'm also going to want my horizontal arrangement, this one, at the very top, right? So like this is the first thing you see. Then if you want the list picker, elements from string, now, this is a little bit moot because the text is never going to show the type of exercise. We need elements from string, so the elements from string are going to be, okay, walk, run, yoga, swim, bike. That's probably enough, right? Is it space separated? Would that work? I feel like I may have sort of. You know what? I'm not going to do a list picker because I should have researched it. Let's do something that we know how to use. Let's do a field, a text field. Fair enough. Let's delete our list picker. Yes, fine. Okay, so I think that in my horizontal element, right? Remember layout, my horizontal arrangement. Sorry. I'm going to want a vertical arrangement so that the left side has at the top the time and below the type of exercise. This is going to be a bit confusing, so maybe I'll need to, well, I mean, I'll know where things are, but really might need to add some labels because otherwise it's going to get a bit tricky. Text box, of course, yes, below, right? So this is when this kind of like, this is where it's going to be handy to have like, instead of text box, to have type in my first horizontal arrangement. I'm going to rename that to like type, and rename text box 1 to mins in or instead, okay, no, let me do a cool layout then. Let's try the table arrangement. That should make more sense, right? Everyone likes a table. We're going to take this one, put it in the top right. I'm going to have a new label here that's going to read mins, and then another label in the bottom left that I'm going to call type. And just check that this is mins, right? And then this is type in my vertical arrangement. But I'm going to keep the vertical arrangement because then I'm going to have the enter button to the, because I've got I've got a vertical arrangement I do not want. So I'm going to delete it, but I'm going to keep the horizontal arrangement and then bring enter and delete to do that. Now you'll notice that I have taken the convention, is the word I'm looking for, of putting the sort of not too troublesome actions like play and enter to the right and delete and record to the left, because if you're right-handed, that's a bit unfair to the left-handers, but if you're right-handed, you will hold your phone most of the time in the right hand, and your right thumb, it makes more sense to kind of have the OK and the click thing to be on the right. So, and then the rarer actions you would kind of put on the left, but it doesn't really matter. But the idea is like delete and record on the same side. So we now have minutes and type. Then I'm gonna put a hint. Actually a text. I'm gonna put generic exercise here, but so that it comes from. Let's have the default be walk, right? So it will come pre-populated with that. The hint is not going to matter because it will come like pre-populated. So that way I'm not going to end up with a bunch of like exercise with a blank type. You'd have to deliberately clear walk and enter something else. So all I've done so far is like this new text box, right? I've not even written anything yet. Now the fun part is actually the code in the blocks. Okay, so let's collab blocks. What do I need to do when enter is clicked? Yes. So instead of like just the minutes, I'm gonna want to have a join of the minutes, a space, and the type. So it's I'm gonna put the minute and then a join of the space and the type. Can I just not concatenate? Is that not? Oh no, can I? How about like a free string join? Yes. Yeah, minute, then a space. Now, let's make sure we have indeed a space and not an empty string. So in here, I want like press space once, press enter, done. And then, what did I say? Minutes, then type? Yeah, fair enough. Minutes, then type. Probably, I'm going to do types, then minutes, because it makes more sense. I didn't see walk, 20. Say or 20 walk? Oh god, it doesn't really matter. I'm overthinking this as I'm wont to do, and we're gonna get but no, wait. We also want to initialize a local. We want another local variable, and we're gonna want that in the scope, right? So we're gonna cheekily put that in here, and take this. I'm holding shift. I can't hold shift. Okay, so I can't select more than one at a time. Oh no, but yeah, I can just do all of that. That's good. Yeah, boom. So when you select something, it will select, like in Scratch, because it's from MIT, right? It does make sense. It will select all of the blocks below it. So now I also have my local called type, again in lowercase because it's a variable, and I'm going to pick the text of type. Type.text. Type.text. Type the text, and now that I have a variable called type, I'm going to put this in here. So it's going to join type, then a space, then mins, and then that's the rest of our code. So all we've done is we've instead of having just mins here, we have 4 blocks to kind of build our base string. This will take care of the writing. How do we make sure that we take care of the reading? It's so very much like we had. So this is on our got text, right? Yes, it's a split, right? Now, we're gonna need to drop some stuff there, right? Oh, at the end they tell us you can. Oh, that is sneaky. At least with the Scratch project, they show at the beginning. Oh man, get fit example. Well, that's helpful. Thank you, CoderDojo. Am I gonna like it? Oh, you can remix it. Well, so you might as well kind of open that and see. Oh no, I'm not gonna. But it's like you can remix it. So open it, we'll import it, and so on. But well, hey, I'm so glad I did not know, because otherwise I would have spoiled it for everyone by showing you a finished version before we had the chance to do that. So I now need to think about my split. So the question is, we're going to split that, but we can't just kind of set the global. This gives us a row, right? This is going to give us a set. This is. Make this the current session. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Oh, come on, man. All right, I think I've not thought ahead enough, because so we're on interest click. Let's just check we have the right thing. Yeah, we've got the new thing with all the get and the join. Right. The problem is that we can't load the whole global minutes list wholesale because that split is going to return like a list, not a single element. So I'll want to kind of rebuild a list of. This is a nightmare. I guess I'm just going to have to save it to a separate file. I mean, how would I? Oh no, you know what? Global. This is just going to be the global minutes list. Is not going to be the exercise list, and all I need to do is when I sum everything, which was when I was doing the got text, right? Because there was this one. So instead of get item, I will want to split the second part, get the second part of like the second half of, right? So text. Split at spaces. No. Do I want split at spaces? Is a string, reverse, mapping. It's weird because it's kind of type but not type, right? So in here, we're going to split item at space. Oh, list. Yeah, this is what I want, right? Index in list, thing, list, right? No. Select list item, that's the one. Okay. So, select list item of the list is the result of the split, right? Because, you know, split takes in a string, in that instance a text, and will return a list. That's why we're able to put the, you know, that straight into global minutes list here. So in here, we're splitting that. This becomes a list, but that list contains the type, then the minutes, right? Because that's the order in which I have written them, I want to say. If I recall correctly, that was just like a minute ago. Let's just very quickly check. Yes, type, then minutes. Okay, so let's load that up. So we're splitting the, sorry, let's do the split correctly, right? We're going to split the item. Now the item, remember, is one row of the global minutes list. Here at space, and the index, I'm going to use maths, just a number, and so 0 will be the type, because 0 is the first thing, right? Like we start in computing, we start counting at 0. That's the classic joke. You ask a computing person to count to 10, and they will count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9, or like count the 10 first number as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want 1 in this instance, which is the second, as logic dictates, evidently, the second element. And the great news about this is because now my minutes list, I'm just going to call it something different, because now it's not the minutes list, it's the exercise list, right? So it like sessions list or exercise list, right? So that's a list of exercises, and or in particular, our list, what's it called, the old Listview, right? Will just pick up the exercise list, and that's the great thing. And so it's going to show walk 20 and so on. So yeah, this is how it's done. Can I like publish it so I could share it? Could I share this? Save project. That's always good to save the project. That's probably export. No. Okay. Well, that's a shame. I wish I could like give you the link so you could try it, but you wouldn't be able to try it. I suppose I would have to build it and put the link in there so you can try it too. It's a whole thing, isn't it? Right. Anyway, we can see that it's done. It does require a bit of the join and the split. What's next? nothing's next, evidently. What was it? I loved it. I have to say I'm very impressed. This was my first AppInventor project, and in fairness, that's not the actual first AppInventor CoderDojo project, right? Because like the first AppInventor CoderDojo project is the one that's at the top, which is Global Food App. So maybe I should have started with this rather than kind of be super smart and smug and think that, oh, I'm so clever and kind of jump ahead. But I think that we got there in the end. Took a bit longer than I would have liked. I hope it wasn't too long for you. And please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tutorial videos. See you soon!